So Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis are going at each other, and things are getting personal. It began with a small jab from Crawford, but Tank didn't just respond, he went straight for the We're talking sharp disses, accusations of chasing paychecks instead of legacy, and a lot more, all surrounding Crawford's highly anticipated and heavily debated fight against Canelo Alvarez. Is Crawford truly chasing greatness, or is Tank right about him taking the easy road for a massive payday? Let's break it down.
Ferrari's ready. What you think about that? Oh, Turkey said he got your 2 Ferraris ready.
I need 3 now.
Steven Espinoza said Shakur turned down a 1-fight deal to fight you because he wanted a multi-fight deal. What's your thoughts on that?
He's not worth it. He's not worth no multi-fight deal. He's not even worth it. Come on, bro.
Anyways,
Sam gotta fight somewhere else and prove himself and then, like, you feel me? You know how they got UFC and like the underground shit? You gotta fight on the underground shit and get back.
You gotta go to the G League.
Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis have been firing some serious shots at each other on social media. Crawford threw the first punch by reminding Tank that he wasn't invited to Turki Alalshik's London Bash for the Ring Awards. Savage, right?
What you doing next?
We want the Nanchus.
Tell him we going for Canelo next.
Yes. Let's go. Canelo, come on.
You heard it from him.
We are ready.
Oh, yeah. Hey. Just put me in the game. Just put me in the game. Canelo Crawford, the biggest fight in boxing. Better get ready for the main event, y'all.
But Tank wasn't staying quiet. He shot back, questioning Crawford's real motivation for taking the fight with Canelo Alvarez. So what's the deal with Crawford moving up to challenge Canelo? According to Tank, it's not about legacy or greatness, it's about cashing in on retirement money. Crawford says he's chasing greatness by jumping to 168 pounds, but Tank calls it pure double talk. He thinks Crawford is skipping the tough contenders and heading straight for the biggest payday. Now let's be real, Crawford wouldn't even be in the conversation for a Canelo fight without some serious help. Turki Alalshik set the whole thing up. giving Crawford a direct path to Canelo's titles without having to earn it the hard way.
Terence Crawford was with Turkey Al-Sheikh at the other event across town. Put out an open challenge to you on the internet with Turkey Al-Sheikh calling you out. What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
No comments.
Tank's got a point. If Crawford were truly chasing greatness, he'd be taking on the Sharks in the 168-pound division.
You say, I want Canelo. Is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass.
Like, yes, man type stuff.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Magno.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as stepping stone. It's about now.
Hear me out. Imagine Crawford stepping in against the likes of David Morrell, David Benavidez, or Christian Billy. These guys are straight-up killers, and the consensus is Crawford probably wouldn't last long. Instead of earning his stripes, he's taking what many are calling the silver platter route, courtesy of Turkey.
Yeah. Just won his debut at 154. Said if the money's right, we'll fight. Everybody wants that fight. What do you feel about that matchup? People saying the weight, all this stuff. How do you feel about that?
You know, everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And you know, like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. 2-3 weights class less than me. But if the money is right, why not? Right? Why not? But look, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga. I know I have a challenge in front. I never overlook any fighter. So I'm focused 100% in this.
And here's where Tank really digs in. He's not just calling out Crawford's motives, he's questioning his courage. In Tank's eyes, this fight is less about real boxing and more about entertainment, circus boxing, if you will. He even compares it to those wild matchups like Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury taking on MMA stars. Fun to watch, sure, but the sporting value? Pretty questionable. And get this, Tank isn't throwing shade just to stir things up. He's giving his take on the state of boxing itself. According to him, all this talk about legacy fights and chasing greatness is just a smokescreen. What's really happening, he says, is that boxing is turning into a cash grab. Big-name matchups like Crawford versus Canelo are less about honoring the sport's roots and more about stacking paychecks. And honestly, he's over it. Tank has been vocal about how this corruption is dragging boxing down, turning it into a circus, and it's part of why he's ready to hang up his gloves for good.
It's about Errol has a metal shield and you have a glass shield. Talk about the punch resistance. What do you think of Tank's assessment, man?
You gonna see it. You gonna see it.
Could he get it in the future?
Too little.
I mean, you came up from 35, right?
He ain't fighting no real guys at 47.
So, okay. What about, everyone's talking about Errol fighting the winner of Canelo and Jermell. Could you ever do that? Is that too much weight, or?
What, 168? Yeah. I ain't going up there.
Right.
So you got Canelo winning then, right?
Then he fighting at 168.
Fights, yeah, you heard that right. Tank's been hinting at retirement for a while, making it clear that his goal is to earn as much money as possible before stepping away from the ring.
25 is at the next year, I'm out of it.
After our second fight. You're out of it?
Yeah.
Care to elaborate on that?
Out of the sport.
After our second fight. Nah, no, I'm gonna win, bro.
Nah, I could tell you my fights.
And after years of dominating with his aggressive style, he's ready to shift gears and focus more on his family life.
Favorite time?
What changed? What made this shit trash? Garbage.
If you got the opportunity to sign a prospect for GTD, who will be?
Gervonta, something should have happened during the time, because when I saw you at the Frank Martin press conference, it looked like you were like the talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously what you've done through boxing since you were a kid and everything? Where's Calvin Ford? Is Calvin Ford or Leonard Edelby? Usually they're around to.
You think you might be gaining the love for it though? You never know.
Twisted as it sounds, he's not leaving without making a statement. Tank has one more fight lined up against Lamont Roach on March 1st, 2025, at the Barclays Center, and it's shaping up to be a solid matchup.
I do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me, Wes, so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry, you know what I mean? Because I have two daughters. I'm wanting to be much softer, you know what I mean? Be more humble and things like that.
But here's the real kicker. Tank is also in talks for another epic showdown with Gervonta Davis.
They talking, they talking, but you know how it's gonna get. 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 A real machine. You know how it's gonna get. A real one. And I promise you, you better leave them home. You better leave the females home. On my mother, you better leave the females home and the kids. On my mother.
Yeah.
Now watch this.
They gonna
now
be
watch.
There. They gonna be
now
there.
watch. Now watch.
What's different from 10 minutes ago when
you
you said
how,
that?
You know how when they told you said how like I posed for Lomachenko, right? And like how he said like he was retired and things like that. I feel as though like we've been in it so long that we are getting tired of it. Like we've been beating our body up so long, but it be like situations like just now, like when he talking that spark the plug again.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Takes for you? Is that all it takes? Just a little comment?
Nah, but that's what I want though. I don't want you to fight me like you saying you're going out.
It always go like this. Always go like this.
Nah, what I'm saying, you just said you feel like you going out.
They go to sleep.
I don't want you to feel like you going.
If everything falls into place, that fight could be the perfect way for him to bow out with a bang.
Tank Davis, the top guy. I would go for the top guy. If I could choose, I would choose Tank Davis. I would not Tank short out. Tank is a great fighter. Hats off to Tank. I'm not even about to just do all that. Like, Tank is a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows that he got the power, he got the skill and ability, he's patient, you know what I'm saying? But I know who I am. That little short can't touch me. And I'm coming with that same shit he coming with, and he know that. His coach Kenny, you know, got a lot to say. You know what I'm saying? Tells him go fight from Cuba. No, think I'm fighting. I'm gonna fight Tank. Stop mentioning other people when I mention your fight. What you talking about, boy? Like, don't play with me, bro. Y'all know how I'm coming. Tank, if you wanna fight, send me a contract, bro. Tank, you know.
Imagine Tank going out on top, proving he's still one of the best in the game. All while giving one last middle finger to the so-called corruption in boxing. It's a fitting end for a fighter who's never been shy about speaking his mind or making bold moves.
Also, we gonna come back to Norfolk, man, so y'all don't forget about me. Y'all keep supporting DB3, but world title definitely gonna be next. 2025, we got big plans for everybody in the boxing world. Hey, Gervonta, knock, knock.
You've been on that all week. Listen.
Now let's talk about Terence Crawford's legacy. Because this circus fight with Canelo is putting everything on the line. Crawford boasts an undefeated record of 41-0 with 31 knockouts, and he's easily one of the most skilled fighters of his generation. His adaptability, precision, and power have made him a true force to be reckoned with.
You though, is that career defining? Is this a legacy fight for you?
Well, when I got shot, for me to change my life the way that I did and stop hanging out with the guys that I hung out with,
my career started going up. And yes, this is a legacy fight for me. This is a mega fight. This is a superstar fight. This is all those in one with me and Errol Spence Jr. A lot of people, they writing me off because they say, oh, well, he's too small, or he haven't fought nobody like Errol Spence, or his resume is this, or his resume that. There's a lot of things that a lot of people can say, but on July 29th, all the answers to everybody's questions.
But here's the catch. By moving up to face Canelo at 168 pounds, he's risking it all. One loss, and that spotless record could be gone, potentially tarnishing the legacy he's built over years of hard work.
If it isn't Canelo next year, are you done from the sport, Terence?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Right now, I'm just weighing out my options and looking for the best opportunities and options for Terence Crawford in my career. Everybody got answers that need to be answered, you know, and the only way they can be answered is if me and Canelo is in the ring and we fight. So if that fight does happen, then everybody answers that, and questions and do's and don'ts will be answered.
You know what I'm saying? And let's be real, this isn't just about winning or losing. Even if Crawford somehow pulls off a victory, many fans and pundits are already questioning its legitimacy. The weight difference is significant, and a win in this scenario doesn't carry the same weight as it would if Crawford had earned his shot by battling through the division.
Yeah. Just from your expert opinion, knowing how Canelo fights, what he's like in the ring, I know you haven't been in the ring with Terence, but what do you think of that fight?
I truly believe, that, anything can happen in boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that favor Canelo is that, is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better, you know what I'm saying? But, Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can't count him out.
Instead, it feels like he's taking a shortcut for a fat paycheck, and that's where the real damage to his legacy comes in. So what's the reward? A big bag of cash? Sure, but at what cost? Tank thinks that if Crawford loses, it could tarnish his reputation. Even if he wins, some might still question the legitimacy of the victory, given how he landed the fight.
Once, if I'm honest, because I think he feels like he won't get a lot of credit beating a light middleweight. And Crawford's going to move a lot in that fight, which is not ideal for Canelo. But what's his options? I mean, if Bivol wins, he could fight him for undisputed. That's a very tough fight. What's the other options? Benavidez is up at 175. Obviously, His Excellency wants to make that fight, so...
In the end, it's a risky gamble, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Now, let's look at what the fans are saying, because reactions to the Crawford versus Canelo situation are wild. Many are siding with Tank, calling it a straight-up circus fight that nobody really wants to see. They're comparing it to the whole Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fiasco, labeling it just another cash grab with zero sporting value. Fans are flooding social media with comments like "this ain't greatness, it's just a money fight," and dropping hashtags such as circus boxing and cash over legacy. The general vibe? People are disappointed and feel this fight is more about entertainment than true competition.
It would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We're not talking about yet about the fight. Me and Turkanash know each other, and then we wanna see what happens.
And when do you want to get out next? I know you're here in London tonight. When are you going to be in a camp? When are you going to be in a camp? I know you're
in camp. Training camp in March.
Okay, so
at the beginning of the middle of the February.
But not everyone's hating on it. Some fans are just excited to see Crawford back in the ring, especially after his huge win against Errol Spence. For them, it's less about the weight class and more about seeing Crawford take on another big name. They're saying, yeah, it's a weird matchup, but at least we're getting some action, with hashtags like War Crawford Scanel and Bignum.
The others say, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo has, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know?
This beef between Crawford and Gervonta is turning heads. And now people are wondering, could Tank actually move up in weight for one last epic bout? Let's be real. Tank has already dominated the lightweight division like few others, proving himself time and again. With retirement looming, anything feels possible, and fans are buzzing, asking if he might make a bold move up in weight for a final showdown.
Canelo, Johnny Boy Boxing, Fight Hype. I just want to ask you, what do you think about Terence Crawford? What do we think about Terence Crawford's performance, and do you want to get a fight with him?
If the money is right, I mean.
$100 million. I heard Turkey offered you a big money already.
150.
150?
Imagine it, Crawford versus Gervonta. It sounds wild, but is it really that impossible? With Tank's retirement plans up in the air and Crawford taking on bigger challenges, this could be the perfect storm. Tank's never been shy about taking risks, and if the payday and hype are right, why not? We've seen crazier fights happen in boxing, and with both fighters at the top of their game. This matchup would be a must-see event.
Want you, things like that. Does that stuff just sound crazy, or just like I'm supposed to be called out? You know,
when you look at all the great fighters, they was getting called out by everybody from different weight classes. So it's nothing, that I'm not surprised about.
A Tank would be something that, he said he'll touch your chin and.
Man, everybody say, what they'll do, but Tank is in his weight class for a reason, and I don't see him come up to 147 to face me no time.
So the idea of Tank stepping up to face Crawford is gaining traction, and with the way things are going, any fight could pop up on your screen. Boxing's unpredictable like that. This beef might just be the spark for something massive. There you have it. Terence Crawford's move to fight Canelo has ignited a firestorm in the fight world, and Gervonta-Davis isn't holding back. Is Crawford chasing greatness or just a big payday? The debate rages on. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more boxing drama.